Yo, this is Slightly. Shout out to Steven for my work. He watches my videos and he's like, yo, you haven't made a video in a while, so he said you should make one again. So here I am, back at it. Been running consistently, almost every day. Every once in a while I'll take a day off, but almost every day, like 50 miles a week maybe, sometimes 60, sometimes in the 40s. But I was trying to step up for my trail races, so I got up to 50 and 60. And I did like a lot of good runs, segments, or long runs. Ran across South Mountain twice, once before Christmas and then right after Christmas. It's like 15 miles across and a little bit of a gnarly trail, fun trail. Fun trail. And then I ran a 5K. That was January 18th and ran like around 18 minutes. So that was good too. Kind of surprised myself. Never actually practiced running 6-minute pace very much, but sometimes you can just pull it out of your butt. So anyways, had a trail race this past weekend. First one in a year. I did the same one year ago. So yeah, I really wanted to beat my time from last year and see how close I could get to my fastest time. Run this race 4 years. 4 years now. So yeah, it was a pretty good race actually. It turned out pretty good. 13.7 miles. Maybe a mile of road in there, but all the rest of it's trail. So Julian's in the race, and I've run against Julian a lot, and he's really gotten awesome. He's kicking some major butt. So I told him before the race, I'm gonna try to keep up with you as long as I can. That didn't last very long. Didn't last at all, actually. He was away. So then I was running with these 3 other guys, but I was kind of the tail guy going up this. The race starts off with like a mile-long climb. I wasn't feeling it. So they got a little gap on me in that first, after the mile. Then it's like a 1.5 mile descent. I wasn't really making up any ground. They were, well, Julian was up ahead, but all the rest of them were running all together. I thought I did make up the ground for a second, but I couldn't tell where the trail went, so it was actually further than I thought. So yeah, I wasn't feeling good, and then we got to the bottom of the hill, and certain spots you can't see the people anymore. It's windy and you're down low. So I got a bad frame of mind. I was thinking, man, this is like 4 miles in. Like, man, I should retire. I kept repeating that to myself. But I'm still trying as hard as I can. Can't resist. So it goes down through this little wash, and it's still a little downhill, and it comes out on the road for like a 1/2 mile, and then you veer right up this hill. It's a really rocky hill. Not that steep. It's hard because it's rocky. It's a rocky, I don't know, at least a rocky 1/2 mile. I wasn't making up any ground. And then it goes downhill for a little ways, and you're back on the road for a little bit, another half mile probably. And then you have this out and back. Take a right, and it's probably at least a half mile out, maybe a little further. And it's kind of smoother, and I started getting a little bit of a groove. I could see them, not all the time, but so it's a little out and back. And so like they're coming back at me. They were probably like a minute and a half in front of me. Julian probably further. So, but then, you turn around, it's this slight downhill. And somehow I got in a groove, This is like 5.5 miles in, 6 miles in. I should have known, I wasn't that bad frame of mind. Races have a lot of like, oh, I'm doing terrible, and then all of a sudden you can switch around and you do better. It's like an emotional roller coaster a little bit. Not feeling so good and thinking, man, I'm doing terrible. So yeah, I used that downhill and made up a little ground on the 4th place guy. And then about a mile after, so we get back on the road, and they're still about the same distance away. But eventually I start catching back up, and the dude tripped. And so I caught up and passed him up because he tripped. Not too far of a way to pass a guy, I guess. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I passed him up, and he's gathering his phone and getting oriented again. Young kid. He actually did the race last year too. His name's Luke. He's like 19, maybe 20. So I passed him up, and I thought maybe he'd follow me, but he wasn't there. So then I keep going, and I catch up to the next guy. I pass him up. This is probably 8-9 miles in. I pass him up, and then there's a couple uphills right in a row. And he passed me back. And then I caught back up, and but then I had to go to the bathroom. So then he got in front of me again. So eventually, I can't exactly remember when I even passed him up. I was trying to think about that. I can't remember. I think it was after the last climb, and we got this descent, and I think I passed him at the beginning of the descent. I was like, come on, man, let's go. So again, I used that descent to average like low 6-minute pace, like 6:08 pace for like the second to last mile, and then 6:13 pace the last mile. Kind of keep the momentum going, as best you can even when it flattens out. So I finished in 1:37:39, like a minute and 40 seconds slower than my time when my best time 2 years ago. That was a good running season. So not too bad, I guess. Not too bad, especially my first race in a year. Like breaking off the rust, hopefully. Gotta get used to that pain. I do these long segments and stuff, but I don't know. It's a bigger pain in a race. So anyways, got another race in about a month. It's called Mesquite Canyon, over on the west side of Phoenix, in the White Tanks. Big, interesting mountains. So 19 miles. It's quite the race. I'll try to make another video for that one. So yeah, I'll keep on trying, and hope you guys are getting out there and doing whatever passion you got in life. Doesn't gotta be running. All right, take care. Adios.